Okay, so we're gonna attempt this makeup. Now I'm doing this before really watching, like I saw the tutorial for like the eyes 10 minutes before I started filming, and I don't have that palette, right? I don't have the eyeshadow palette. She uses the Huda Beauty Icy Nude, but I used the Colourpop Cold Stone Fox eyeshadow palette. And you know, honestly, if you want a good cool neutral eyeshadow palette, you don't need any other ones, because look. And like, this is kind of like my version of the look. It's like, it's slightly higher contrast because I do have blue black dyed hair and my eyebrows are very dark and very like, I mean, it's like medium to full for me. But I did try a couple, did I try a new color? Yeah, I did. I tried out this. This is the same blush product she used, and I am so glad I got this, but my first impressions of this are in the video, so keep watching for that, because this, I'm going to grab a lot more shades of this because I think this is really, really nice. But if you want to see how I created this look, just keep on watching. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and get started. She has a very matte base, so I'm going in with my Rimmel Lasting Finish SPF, no, it's a Lasting Finish Full Coverage Foundation, and I use the shade 200 Soft Beige. And I'll start by dabbing this evenly across my face. I'll start with base today because I've noticed her contour, bronzer, and blush, they kind of melt into the eyes. So I'll just also carry some of that into like around my eyes and right next to it and see how the look turns out. So we'll do all that first. Now, my other phone, I lost. I was going to use my other phone to have the reference picture in front of me. So this is going to kind of be from memory. I might take a peek at like my phone right there and see, but we're just going to wing it. So this is more like the inspired look, and I also don't have the same eyeshadow palette she used, so this is really, really inspired. But I'm excited to dig in because I thought this look was beautiful. Might look a bit light on me. This is a good match for when I completely lose my tan, and I'm getting a little bit of my tan back. But this oxidizes just like the tiniest bit, so hopefully it will be okay. There's a lot of like rain and thunder outside. I feel like that might make good background noise, but hopefully it doesn't get disruptive. Do you guys hear that? Foundation has such a beautiful finish. This is one of my favorite. I mean, I don't know. I think I need to do a ranking of all my foundations because I've tried a lot more drugstore ones recently, and I did pick up some high-end ones, just a heads up for my haul. But I have a lot of thoughts, so look out for that soon. And conceal, I'm not going to do anything brightening, just a little bit for coverage. I mean, this is going to brighten still a little bit, but I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Instant Fix Concealer. This is an older concealer, but honestly, Estee Lauder, all their base products are amazing. But I'm just gonna put whatever excess I have on my lid, and I'm gonna use a lighter concealer for my lid because I really want my eyeshadows to pop. But I'm just dabbing this out with a brush. Don't worry about taking this all the way up right underneath my eye. I stopped doing that because I'm someone that creases, and I don't really need coverage up there just because I always have eyeshadow smoke down underneath, so it's fine. Go ahead and prime my eyelid. This is the AOA Studio like stick concealer. This is the one I use like when I started my channel off. It works great. It's a good, nice light base for all my eyeshadows. I've never actually used this like on my face as a concealer, but this is just a good shade for me to use. But I'm focusing this more right under my brow bone and in between my brows right here. Just blending that in. I'm also playing around with my camera settings because I upgraded my iPhone and I feel like I'm having the hardest time finding the right setting. So I'm trying something new here. You guys let me know if you prefer this or what I have in my last couple of videos, because I'm kind of changing it up. I just want to find the best quality, and yeah, because I'm trying to show you all the details I can. Continue with all my cream products. I have the Revolution Cream Bronze in the shade Light. I initially was kind of iffy about this product, but I think like now that my tan's starting to come back and like I'm going for more bronzy warm looks, I think this is actually a good pick. But I'm gonna use this to contour my nose just a little bit. It is a bit warm to use as like just a contour, but I just want an overall like nice bronze, because the look, like this makeup artist, I think she's a professional makeup artist, but she always has such a beautiful bronzed base. So I'm just gonna use this. I think she uses the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour, and I have that, but I think it's a lot warmer than I'd like. So I'm just gonna go ahead with this. And this one's a fantastic one. I'm also gonna put this in my crease a bit here, so I have that continuation from like my eyelid to my nose. And I'm also gonna do this with the shadow, so this is just kind of creating like a little base for it. Just like that. I don't have to go too crazy, just something for the eyeshadow to kind of blend into. And then using basically a bigger version of that brush just to warm up the perimeters of my face. And essentially I am gonna pretty much contour with this. It's okay, it's warmer than what I go for. But I have been liking this one for the last couple of days. But I am going to go pretty heavy because I do want this soft warmth that she has all over her face. I'm basically hitting up where I normally contour, like right here on my temples, my forehead, and whatever's left on my chin. And this one's like a light coverage one. This one, like, if you're going for like crazy high pigment, I wouldn't recommend this, but it's like an everyday like cream bronzer to add some nice warmth, and it's super blendable. This one's a really nice one, and I think it's either $8 or $10, so it's a nice affordable one. So blend like this corner of my eyelid into the bronzer so I don't have any weird lines. This one I literally picked up yesterday, 2 days ago, but this is the Cheek Thrills Face Trio, and this she actually did use in her look. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the cream products. Like basically I'm doing all my cream products right now, and then I'll set everything with powder. But this is like a face trio. This really looks like the one size ones. I don't own any of the one size ones. I just have the Patrick Ta blush duos. But I saw this and I thought this was pretty nice. And then I saw it in her video and I was like, well, okay, I'm grabbing that, I guess. But this is, okay, so this is Morphe. And I know they're kind of like mid-range, just it's not like completely drugstore, but I mean, I guess you're getting 3 products in one, but this was $20, like $19, I think. Is that not steep for like a drugstore brand? But I guess this technically, I mean, it's a bigger product. You are getting a lot of product, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I was shopping in person. I realized when I shop in person, I feel like things are a lot more expensive versus online. Things just get added to cart. But I really like that color. Ooh, I like that. And start setting because I don't want any creasing. I'm using the Mercier setting powder, and then I always dab off the excess. I'm gonna set around my eye. Oops. I really take like the smallest amount here, because I can always add more. I just don't want it cakey. There we go. Anytime you're blotting any shine away, it just gives like a very filtered matte finish. Really nice. I'm going to set the center of my face because that's just where I have shine, and I just want like a nice matte base with this look. But I'm not going to go over where I have the bronzer and the blush because I'm going to set it with those products. Also just gonna add a touch of setting powder to my eyebrows. This just kind of helps everything stay in place and for my eye pencil to adhere better to my skin. My powder bronzer, I'm using my Essence one. The real ones, no, Essence packaging just doesn't last and all the lids just fly off. I saw like a lot of videos of this girl, like she basically posted a video of this blush that she saved for her wedding. It's just like crumbs and people are like, or she basically asked the public, what shade is this? Does anyone know? Like, what brand is this? Anything. And then someone pulled out like their little bit and they're like, it's the Essence blush in this shade. And I was just like, that's how you know. Essence has great products. Like, I think their cranberry lip oil, which I've never tried, that one also has like a cult following and people just hanging on to the tiniest bit for their wedding day. So if you haven't tried out Essence Cosmetics, like if you can try anything out first, try this, because this is like my favorite drugstore powder bronzer. I have like my high-end picks and I absolutely love those, but for drugstore, nothing has beat this, because this is the only bronzer that I've found that doesn't pull orange. And I go pretty heavy on bronzers. I don't know if you've seen how many times I've dipped into this right now, but I'm hitting all the places where I basically applied the contour, and I'm bringing it into my face a little bit more because the makeup artist, she has a lot of bronze happening. So, and I think this being like slightly warm, like with like a rosy-ish hue to it, and this being like cooler toned, it's a perfect pair in my opinion, especially for this look. I just love it so much. For the powders, there's two here. I'll go in with the matte first, and then maybe I'll put the shimmery one at my higher points. But I hope this is a more buildable blush. Let's see. Ooh, that's pretty. I always like, of all the shades, this one stood out to me, and I thought this was absolutely beautiful. There was another one that I was about to get. It's like a more, like a beigey color, but barely had any pink tones in it, so I wasn't sure. But I wanted to see how I like this formula first before I grabbed the other one. And then I also recently got the She Seductive blush from Patrick Ta, and I felt like those two were kind of similar. So I was like, let me just feel everything out first. Okay, so I'm doing the blush, but I'm bringing it out to the corner of my eye. I just know she has a lot of blush to the corner of her eye. I really wish I had a reference photo, but this is also a test to see how good my memory is. But I really love that blush. That's so pretty. I will probably add more because I'm someone that loves blush. Okay, a little on my nose in the bridge. Okay, and then I'll dip into the shimmery one here. Should I use a smaller brush? I'll use a smaller brush for this side, but I'm dipping into the shimmery side. Oh, it's a cream. Oh, it's like a balm. Okay. Okay, well, it's good I switched brushes and I just didn't dip my powder brush in that one, but I'll just grab a little bit of this. Kind of see if it works as a highlight. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, had I known this was kind of like this one is a cream formula, I would have grabbed the other one. Okay, well, looks like I'm going to Ulta tomorrow. No, I'll do, no. See, if I go in Ulta tomorrow, I'm more conscious of my spending. But if I do an online order, yeah, that's when I'll get the, things just get spent faster online. Ugh, yeah, okay, I'll go in store. It's fine. Okay, this is so nice. I love how these three just work together. I don't like highlights, like at all. It's very rare for me to want to put highlight on my face, but I'm kind of using this like as like a peachy, like a glowy highlighter slash blush, and it's layering so beautifully. I don't even know if she used all three shades in this, but I really like this. Oh gosh, can Morphe sponsor me? Morphe, I love a lot of your eyeshadow palettes. I have a lot of looks with them. I'll send them this video. Really beautiful. This is definitely worth the $19. Just putting it out there. Okay, now time to do my eyebrows, and I'm not going to use this palette in this look. I'm just using the mirror because it's the perfect size. I need to get like a different handheld mirror, but I want one without any brand's name on it. So if you guys know one, or like an Etsy shop where I can get a nice little mirror, let me know, because I'm all about supporting small businesses, because I too am a small business owner. Fun fact, I sell achar. If you don't know what achar is, it's a Bangladeshi condiment. I don't like the word condiment here because there is no like English word for it, but it's amazing, and you pair it with spicy dishes like biryanis, like, oh, literally like tehari with that, amazing. But that's what I do. Hey, maybe I'll link it in the in the description, so if you guys want to check that out, that's there, but I actually have to catch up with a lot of stuff for that small business. So that's also something that keeps me occupied these days. Okay, but eyebrows are done. I'm not going to use any gel or anything to set it because I've been liking my eyebrows a little fluffier these days. Okay, the brows are good, and now I'll go ahead and start the eyeshadow. Now, she uses the Huda Beauty Icy Nude palette for the look. I don't have that. I don't have any Huda Beauty anything. But I do have the Stone Cold Fox. This was compared to that eyeshadow palette. Like, so many people have compared this to that, and as well as other high-end palettes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. And this is a bigger palette, so it's gonna be hard for me to show what shades I use like when I have like my camera zoomed in. So I'll just say the name of the eyeshadow, but this is what I'm using. It's a perfect cool tone neutral palette. Like, if you have this, you don't need any more. Do I have more? Absolutely. Because this doesn't travel very well with me. But this is such a beautiful palette, and Colourpop's quality is amazing. So let's do it. So I was not confident enough to try this without a camera or a photo of it. So I have my husband's phone, and I'm just gonna use that. Now, I don't have the tutorial or anything up that she posted, but I'm just gonna do it based off what I see. So let's just get started. I'm starting off with the shade Stranger. I'm just starting to get like some of my crease built up. Now, any crease colors I have, I am going to bring it down into this bronzer and blend everything in. When I bring in shades, I'm literally going down the bridge of my nose, like, or not the bridge, the sides of my nose like this. And this will kind of increase like the amount of like eye area that I'm using for the eyeshadow. And this will just make your eyes look a bit more dramatic. But she has very pinky hues in her crease, and that's what I'll just build up right now. I'll use the shade Gravity Hill, and this is like one of the deeper pink shades, and just kind of draw in where I want this color focused. And I feel like this is a very similar shade to what she has going on. But again, bringing it into my inner corner like this, and blending it out. And I'm using a more precise brush so I can place everything where I want it to go. And she has her inner corner like pretty high up like this, and then I'll worry about blending it in later. I'm using a denser brush and just blending those edges out a little bit, especially right around the nose. Like, for me, I don't really do this as often, so this is a new look for me. Let's see. Also taking the shade on my outer corner and creating like a V shape right here. So the outer corner of my eye just blends in. And I'm using the same brush just to blend everything together. Also putting this under my eye and blending everything together, like I'm filling in any gaps. Wow. Digging the drama of like putting this down my nose. I feel like, oh my gosh, you know what? I think this, with like this type of eye like shadow technique with the Petalmorphosis palette from Pat McGrath would be like insane. Would it not? Is that another look that I can do? But I did go a bit dramatic because I am much higher contrast than she is. So I am going to be using a lot of like a little bit of a deeper color. Just, well, I mean, not too much. I don't want to change the look up too much, but I'm going to use a little bit of a deeper color here and darken my outer V. I'll use the shade Obsidian. It's like a deeper purple, just to kind of deepen my outer crease just a little bit. Just for my eyes, I just need a little bit of depth. So this is more like seashell makeup for me, because every single eye look is going to look different on each person. So I'm just gonna tailor this for my eyes and my eye shape. There we go. Nice. Yeah, see, this just gives me an additional bit of depth because I have such dark hair and dark eyebrows. And I'll use this like rounder brush and just kind of blend it in. I'm using a lighter concealer now, and I noticed she has her eye, like the concealer kind of dragging into the corner right here and down her nose. So I'll use this lighter concealer more on my lid, and then I'll use my under eye concealer just to blend in where I have my under eye. The edges of this might look actually a little insane, but I think once I put some eyeshadow down, this won't look as sharp. But I'm keeping the same bright concealer going down here. I just think it brings like the right kind of light to my eyes, so we'll just stick with this concealer and I'll set. Now I'm taking the shade Luxe. I'm basically placing this where I have that concealer. I was honestly debating whether I wanted to use this eyeshadow for the look, but you know what? YOLO, we can just go all in, see how this looks. I've made it this far, right? But I'm using this to blend out, but I feel like if it gets too light, I'll just use my translucent setting powder on top. Okay, yeah, this is very dramatic. Very much a look I typically don't do, but I'm digging it. I mean, she's got some nice ideas. She has a very, very sparkly topper. I don't believe, can't remember, I don't have, like, my husband doesn't have a TikTok, so I can't really look it up right now. But I think she might have been using like Space Cowboy or something like that, but I don't know, it doesn't really look warm at all. Space Cowboy has like this warm undertone base, but I do have a sparkly topper that I think is going to be perfect for this look. And it's from Bobbi Brown. This is the Luxe Eyeshadow Rich Sparkle in Moonstone. My goodness, guys, this is so amazing. I'm going to use my brush that I usually use for like sparkly toppers. It's like a thinner, it's like a more dense flat brush. And this kind of mimics my finger, but like not exactly. Like sometimes your finger is just what you have to use. And this honestly might be, like, see, it's collecting the sparkles on it. So let's see. I'm trying to rough it up and get some. But I'm gonna place it more on like the center. Oh yeah, I think this is actually perfect. I think if I used my finger, it would have been too dense. But I'm just going to lay sparkle on like the inner third of my eye. And I saw her post a tutorial like 10, maybe 20 minutes ago before I started this tutorial, because I saw the look, like the photo she posted, I thought it was amazing and I need to try to recreate that. But she hadn't posted the eye tutorial yet onto TikTok or Instagram. But I was like, you know, I'll just wing it. It's like my inspiration for the day. So basically laying this on top here, blending it out a little bit. Wow, that's so pretty. I wonder how she comes up with this. I don't know if she'll ever see this. But girl, you are so talented, and thank you for being so inspirational, because this is a look I don't think I ever would have tried. But like, if you haven't seen her TikTok or Instagram, just go check it out. It's such beautiful looks. I remember she did like a Sugar Plum Fairy look and I was so obsessed with it, but I never really truly attempted it. So this is like my first true attempt of her looks, and she's an artist. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, this topper is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. This shimmer is like a true like wet looking shimmer. I'm also placing this in my inner corner and out a little bit here. Since this is a topper, it like disperses out so beautifully. If you use this with your finger, you get like an insane like wet type of shine. Stunning. But I think this brush method is perfect for this look. Oop, my son's awake. I'm back again, and I'm using the shade Drama Mama, and I went ahead and did like that smoky liner. But let me show you how I did, because I cannot get my eyeliner as sharp as hers. But I'm just literally stamping this along my eyelid or lash line and keeping it as thin as possible, because I just want to focus the drama on here. I'm just taking a little bit of excess into my crease right here, just for some additional depth. Now to create that sharper line, I'm using that same brush with just like whatever leftover dry concealer. And I'm sure if you just use like another batch of concealer, it's fine. But since I have like a nice tip here, kind of dried, I'm just gonna drag it up like this. See, and that just creates a little bit of an extra wing. Let's kind of touch that up. That's all, because I didn't want to remove any eyeshadow from my under eye, like right here. So this kind of lets me create that sharp wing, but still kind of have everything blended out. But I like that. But I'll put some lashes on. She uses half lashes. I don't really do that, but I will just take some lashes and chop them in half, because the lashes I use, they're all full in the center like this. Like they're full in the center and they're short on both ends, so they're symmetrical. So I'll just cut it in half and stick them on my outer corner, and we'll see how that looks. When I was younger, I actually did half lashes like once, and I decided I didn't like them, so I never did it since. So this will be me trying them again. I naturally have like quite longer lashes, but because I do heavier, more dramatic looks, I do use lashes because, I mean, do you see anything? But I just decided, like, and also like for my eye shape, the lashes that are thicker or like longer in the middle, and then like not as long on the sides, like both sides, those are what I find suit my eyes best. I go for like, anytime I even use like lashes that are kind of like the winged lashes where it's fuller at the end, lighter at the front, those just don't suit my eyes as much. I really like my eyes to like pop. I don't really go for like the sultry type of lashes, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to see how this looks, because it's been a really long time, but we'll see. Okay, the half lashes are on. I don't know my thoughts. Okay, I think first I need to do a little bit of extra work here. I'm gonna use a lot of mascara, especially since like the front half is very exposed because I have a lot of eyeshadow on them. But I'll go in with my Lash Idole and coat my lashes. I'm not hating the shape of it, I'm gonna be honest. And I feel like because I have more drama on the outside of my eyes, it's keeping a lot of focus on the shimmer. So there is that plus side. But I do need to use quite a bit of mascara to make sure this blends. But this is a fantastic mascara. It's gonna give me that separation, so hopefully I can make it kind of look blended in. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think a reason why I don't really go for half lashes is because my natural lashes point downwards. So if I don't have like a full lash on, it just looks a bit odd. And I don't really like to curl my lashes. I did at some point, and then I ripped off my lashes, and this was still without like any product on it. It's fine. I just have my preferences, and that's just one of them. But I think that's all for the eyes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do the lips now. I'm loving how the eyes are melting into my face. Like, I've kind of got like a foxy type of eye look, but I guess the lashes keep it like dainty looking. Okay, but anyways, she has like such beautiful lips. I know she uses a Kiko Milano lip gloss. I don't own any Kiko Milano lip products, but I want to change that. I'm changing up my lip combo a little bit. I had another one on earlier, and it was just a little too deep and warm, but I still have a bit of it on the outer edges of my lips. So this is really just a mix of the Italia Deluxe lip liner in the shade brown, and then I have the Sephora contour lip or rouge lip gel liner in the shade Dress to the 90s. I feel like this is just like the cooler shade I prefer, and her lips are deeper looking, but I think with the blend of these two products, I'm just getting a combo I prefer. Yeah, and I overline my lips nicely because she always has very full and very defined lips. Like, I made sure I have like my Cupid's bow still nice and sharp, but this is really pretty. But let's pick a gloss. I used a different gloss earlier and it was just a little too warm, especially with the other lip liner that I had, but I'm gonna use this. I think this is perfect. This is from Revolution Beauty. It just says lip gloss, but it's like their Friends collection. And this shade is called Monica, which is like my favorite character. I feel like I relate to her more. But this has beautiful like silvery shimmery pigments. So I'm just gonna dab this in the center of my lid. Or lips. Yeah. Look at that. That's so pretty. This is... Yeah. This is much better than the last lip combo for this look. Stunning. Okay. So I guess that's all. the eyes, first off, this is just a different way for me to even do my crease, like the definition, like carrying it down my nose. I feel like this is such a vibe. This is so pretty. I love this so much. Yeah. I think I achieved this look, but like my version of it, because I am higher contrast, so I do have a bit more drama when it comes to like the deeper colors, and my lip combo is lighter than hers, but I'm in love. We tried out a whole bunch of new stuff, tried out a new blush, and I am so glad I picked this up and like that she posted that she used this, because okay, I'm gonna be picking up like a lot more of these, because this I think would just go amazing in my kit. I don't know how I didn't realize this was cream, even though it has that protective cover on both of these. I was like, that's interesting that this also covers this powder, but it's not powder. It's like, duh, Nova. You should have known. But I'm excited. Like, I'm happy I tried the half lash. I think I do want to grab lashes that are less dramatic and that don't have like a thick band like this one does. I feel like I might get a better result, but you know, it's a different look than what I go for when it comes to my lashes. But I don't know, if you like this video and you think I did a good job, let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, it helps me a ton. Just saying. And then if you like to see my face, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because I upload there a lot more, multiple times throughout the day, every single day. And I do upload YouTube shorts, but TikTok and Instagram does see it first. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.